People make all kinds of excuses over why they can't draw. Trust me, I've heard just about every single one of them. But the truth is I believe anyone can draw and draw well. It's all about understanding a few misconceptions regarding drawing and dispelling a few myths. Hello there everyone, Matt here with thevirtualinstructor.com, and in this video we're going to talk about why you can't draw and what you can do about that to change it. Now, why is it so many of us believe that we can't draw? In fact, if you ask a room full of 100 adults who can draw, I bet you only a handful of people would actually raise their hand. But if you ask a room full of 5-year-olds how many of them can draw, I bet you the entire room would raise their hands. What happens to us from childhood to adulthood to make us believe so much less in ourselves? What happens to make us lose our confidence in so many things that we do, not just drawing? Picasso is quoted as saying, "Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain one once we grow up. And as children, we truly are all artists because we believe we are. There's no reason to believe otherwise." Now think back to first grade. What were your favorite activities? Besides recess and perhaps lunch, I bet you enjoyed coloring or sculpting, or perhaps building things with blocks. You enjoy creating because we are all innately creators in some form or fashion. And drawing is the most foundational form of creating. For most children, the moment in which they are handed a crayon is the moment that they first create something. The marks made are far from representational, but they are pure, made without any preconceived notions or past negative experiences. It is truly a magical moment when this happens, and it's happened to all of us at some point in our lives. Many of us continue on for the next several years, blissfully creating things without judgment from others. We may receive compliments that encourage us to continue, but we don't hear condemning comments. We start to notice that some of our artistic peers receive more praise than we do for what they create. We wonder, whether knowingly or not, why we don't receive the same level of praise. Often this happens to children right before moving into adolescence, and it doesn't just apply to the arts either. It applies to athletics, performance arts, and anything else that is skill-based. We start hearing that some folks are talented because they are somehow better than us. We start wondering if we're talented, and we start searching for our so-called hidden talents. Adolescence also marks the beginning of a difficult and fragile period of life. At this point, we are quite impressionable and believe what imperfect adults tell us. We're also quite concerned with what others think about us as we search for our place in life. We're quite sensitive to any form of judgment. Unfortunately, it's this sensitive period of life when judgment starts to play a major role in who we become. Grades received in school start to matter with greater weight. Athletic programs begin to cut players. Performances require auditions, and children at this stage are brutal to each other regarding physical appearance and social status. Impressionable students start to believe that there are things that they can do, but there are other things that they just will never be able to do. This is one reason why a middle school student may cover their drawings as they work. They fear the judgment that may come, either spoken or unspoken. They also may make excuses before you can even take a peek at their work, uttering things like, "I can't draw," or "mine looks awful." They may truly love the process of drawing, but unfortunately, fear holds them back. Over time, if not righted, this love of drawing and creating becomes suppressed. The student begins to believe that they can't really draw, and they search for something else to make them accept it. Does this sound like you, or sound like something similar that's happened to you? If so, I'm not surprised, because it really happens to all of us at some point in time. In order for us to be successful with drawing, we have to believe that we can actually draw, and that drawing is a skill that can be attained by anyone, including us. Which brings me to the next factor, and that is the belief in talent. Far too many of us believe that our life and who we are is determined largely based on our DNA. These people believe that we are either born with a talent or we're not, and that our abilities are somehow inherited by our parents, grandparents, or another ancestor. When in truth, this is just a limiting lie. We all know talented people. Perhaps you're one of those folks that have been labeled as talented. I am. But what's interesting about talented people is we know the truth. We know that we've had to work hard to develop the skills that we've attained. And that's why people call us talented, because we've actually just worked hard and practiced. The truth is, skills are acquired. and acquiring a skill requires knowledge and practice. And drawing is no different. Anyone can draw, but only after they have a bit of knowledge and have practiced quite a bit. But if you believe that it requires talent in order to draw well, then you're likely never to overcome this hurdle. You will simply say to yourself, "I'm not talented," and you'll give up far too early. The first challenge that you encounter will become your undoing. Talent then becomes an excuse for why you can't draw. The development of a skill is a series of challenges that you overcome one at a time. It's not something that just happens. But if you stick with it and face the challenges that await, and you keep working and practicing, before long, people will be calling you talented too. Our beliefs guide our lives. If we truly believe that we can achieve something, then we're likely to be successful. The opposite of this is true as well. If we believe we're incapable of something, then we're likely to fail at it. Henry Ford is quoted as saying, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." If you started believing at some point you can't draw, well, then you're right. However, if you believe that you can draw and you're willing to work for it, then you're also right. If you truly believe, then you will make something happen no matter the circumstances. And if you truly believe that you can't, then you'll make excuses or find excuses for why you can't. Now that we know that you have to believe that drawing is a skill that anyone can attain, let's look at a few practical reasons for why you're struggling with your drawing. First reason is maybe you just need more practice. This is probably the most common reason why people struggle with drawing. They simply need more practice to get better. And practice means making mistakes, lots of them, and that's okay to make mistakes. But you still have to invest sometimes hours and hours and hours of practice. Now, another reason you might be struggling with drawing is you're still trying to learn how to see as an artist. Seeing like an artist is different from simply seeing. Artists see the world as lines, shapes, forms, colors, and values. They're able to simplify the complex objects around us into abstractions that are closer to how our eyes actually see things. Artists are able to block out what their brains, or left brains anyway, are telling them and focus only on the abstract light that their eyes are actually recording. Artists are then able to take this abstract information and organize it on the surface using a medium in a manner that their eyes have recorded, thus creating an illusion that translates to the brain of the viewer as reality. Fortunately, like drawing, seeing like an artist can be learned, developed, and practiced. There are drawing exercises that you can try to help you learn how to see as an artist. For example, drawing an image from an upside-down photo reference will help you block out distractions and focus only on the lines, shapes, colors, and values. Or blocking out a photo reference using a grid, and then drawing only one square within the grid. Any drawing exercise that helps you block out the content and only focus on the observed lines, shapes, colors, and values will improve your skill in this area. Now, another practical reason why you might be struggling with drawing might deal with the medium that you're working with, and maybe you just simply need more time with that specific medium. Each drawing medium has its own set of characteristics. Knowing and understanding how a specific medium will behave and how to control it on a drawing surface is absolutely essential to drawing success. For example, graphite should be applied and handled differently than another drawing medium, like, for example, soft pastels. You cannot expect to pick up a medium and become an expert on the first time that you use it. Yet many new artists give up on a medium just after one use. Gaining knowledge of the appropriate uses, techniques, and surfaces of the media will improve your drawing. Practice and experimentation within a specific medium will naturally enhance your skills. Now, another practical reason why you might be struggling with your drawing is you're just not spending enough time on your drawings in the first place. There's a reason why it's called artwork. It takes work to create a strong drawing. It can be fun work, but work nonetheless. Time often needs to be invested in a drawing in order for the drawing to be successful. Slow down and concentrate on smaller areas of the drawing for longer periods of time, and I guarantee you that you will see noticeable improvements in your drawing. And the last practical reason, again, we've touched on this to a certain degree, but maybe you're still believing in talent. Perhaps the reason you can't draw again is because you believe in talent. You've been told your whole life that some people can draw well and some people just can't. So the first time you meet any challenge in developing a drawing skill, you give up and blame it on lacking talent. Again, drawing is a skill that is taught, learned, practiced, and developed. And it can be that way for anyone, no matter where you start and no matter what your age. So clearly, believing in yourself is very important. It's about returning to that mindset that we all had as first graders, that mindset that we can. We are given one life to live, and it's much too short to wonder what might have been. It's never too late to reach your goals and be the person that you choose to be. You can draw, and you can start right now. The only thing in your way is you. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to pick up a couple of things here and there. If you're new to the channel, or if you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell so you're notified when we upload new videos like this one. Now, if you're ready to take your drawing and painting skills to another level, then check out the membership program we have over at thevirtualinstructor.com, which includes a variety of drawing and painting courses on a variety of drawing media and subject matter. Just about every medium and subject you can imagine is covered there as part of our program. There are weekly live lessons, which are all recorded. You can go back and watch our previous live lessons, weekly critiques as part of the Members Minute, and a year-long curriculum for visual arts teachers. If you want to check out our membership program, I'll leave a link in the description below. If you want to check out 3 of our course videos and ebooks for free, I'll also leave a link in the description below for that as well. Thanks again for watching this video, and as always, I wish you all the very best in your artistic success.